Welcome back to NSEN. JR, as I mentioned before the break, football is a sport that never stops. It's all season. As soon as the Super Bowl is done, 30 other teams are preparing for their draft stock, their draft boards, and a lot of college players have been working since January to figure out how they can raise their draft stock. So the question is once April rolls around, who's number one?
Well, some teams we're thinking are going to choose defensive players, maybe offensive players, but none of us know. I do know some people that want to talk about it, though, and Marissa and the debate desk have more on that. Marissa?
Every athlete dreams about having their name called at the draft, but we never know whose name is going to be first. So today I have Lamonte and Xavier to debate who they believe is going to be drafted. Let's start with you, Xavier.
Thank you, Marissa. Well, I think that Mitch Trubisky, the junior quarterback out of North Carolina, should be the number one pick in the draft. The 6'3", 220-pound junior threw for 3,748 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in his junior campaign, while leading the Tar Heels to 8-5 record, losing to Stanford in the Sun Bowl this year. Trubisky is a big, strong quarterback that can make all the throws, and the Cleveland Browns need a quarterback, and that's what they should take, Mitch Trubisky.
What about you, Lamonte?
Well, I have to disagree, and I definitely believe that Alabama's own Jonathan Allen should be the number one draft pick in the NFL draft. The 6'3", 291-pound defensive tackle, he definitely can stop the run and cause havoc for a quarterback and could slow down the passing game, and I definitely feel he should be number one in the draft.
Well, okay, I feel like Cleveland has the number 1 and the number 12 pick in the first round. Cleveland needs a quarterback. Cleveland has had 19 quarterbacks to start for them since 2005. You need a solid quarterback. You need to go ahead and try to plan for the future. They had RG3 this year. I think Cody Kelsey also started this year. But they need to go ahead and get them a quarterback, get them in there so he can get with Hugh Jackson, so he can start learning the offense, and they need to start fresh. And there are plenty of defensive ends in this draft that they can go and grab at number 12.
Well, I feel that they are a team that needs help at the quarterback situation, but I feel like the quarterbacks that they have are valuable in some way. Yes, they can't stay consistent, but
Which quarterbacks you talking about, though?
RG3 and Kessler,
Well, RG3 hasn't been the same since his rookie season when he got hurt, and Cody Kessler
he was with the Redskins. It was his time to leave the Redskins. So about time he got to the Browns, yes, it was a fresh start for him, but he got injured. With Kessler, this was his first year, and he did pretty good playing multiple snaps, and he got a lot of yards and touchdowns as well, leading all the other quarterbacks. But I feel like the Browns need to give the quarterbacks an opportunity to fight it out and see who can be the most consistent and do the most work.
I just think you got to take a quarterback because when you have Terrell Pryor, who started out as a quarterback in Cleveland, who took snaps at quarterback and also took snaps at wide receiver during the season, you don't have the answers for the quarterback position. You got to go ahead. You got to get a quarterback because there are not too many quarterbacks in this draft, and if you don't take one and you're the number one pick, you might not be able to get one.
What round did Dak Prescott get drafted?
The 4th, if I say
exactly.
That's
Quarterbacks come a dime a dozen, and
that's true.
One can be a hit or miss. Now with the defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, I feel like him and Jamie Collins will work well together. 2 Alabama players on defense, causing havoc. I feel like the Browns actually had a nice, decent secondary when their line applied pressure to disrupt the quarterback to make some bad passes. So their secondary makes plays. It's all about can they get to the quarterback.
But you still got to score. You still got to score to win games, though.
Most of the games they lost, they actually led. They led games. It's just they couldn't hold on.
Cleveland, you got to go. You have to get a quarterback. You got to get a quarterback. I'm sorry. There's too many defensive ends. You got Derek Barnett out of Tennessee. You got DeMarcus Walker out of Florida State. You have Taco Charlton out of Michigan. You have Tim Williams out of Alabama coming right out of Alabama with Jonathan Allen. There's plenty of talent at the defensive end spot that they can grab at number 12, somebody's going to be there at number 12.
But none are Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen can play inside, outside, and he can also play linebacker. He's
Where?
200. He has played. He came into Alabama playing the linebacker.
I don't know if I can see that not in the NFL though.
Exactly.
Maybe outside linebacker.
That's what he did, outside linebacker.
I don't know about all that.
So
man.
he's a
Maybe that's
valuable
league.
player that can be moved around a lot and cause a lot of disruption. And I definitely feel like you're saying quarterbacks, but why even Trubisky?
I say Trubisky just because, yes, he doesn't have a lot of body work. He played one season as a full-time starter, but like I said,
So one season.
he put.
You're going off stats off one season.
Well, okay. Well, he had to sit out. He had to sit out because their starter, I can't remember his name, but they had a 4-year starter coming in. So this is his only opportunity to come in and play this season, and he played great. He played great throughout the season. That's why I feel like
20
he should be there.
sacks is not great.
Well,
That's the only-
regardless of how that season ended, we'll just have to wait and see who gets picked first. But we're going to send it back to the desk.